Hello, guys. Welcome to Russian Football News Predictions League.
Yes.
You've got a guest presenter here as well. Say hello. So this is Seryoja, and this is Dasha. What do you think about this weekend, Dasha? Which games are you excited about?
7-8.
7-8. She does come up with the most ridiculous prediction scorelines. Anyhow, guys, let's have a crack. We've got some really seriously good games this week, actually.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Dasha agrees. Right, okay. Now, first up, we have, guys, Ufa against Spartak Moscow. Spartak, of course, are out of Europe, so they haven't had their midweek disruption like the other top four sides have, or, big four sides, I should say. Last weekend, it's starting to unravel again for Spartak. They're doing a Spartak. At home to Ural Yekaterinburg, they lost 2-1. So they've gone from winning 4 games in all competitions in a row. Suddenly, they've lost 2 on the bounce. They're 6 points off the top. And they're looking a bit shaky. Ufa have lost Sylvester Igbun, of course, to Dynamo Moscow. Played against them, in fact. Last weekend, 0-0 draw in Moscow. Good result for Ufa. But they are going to struggle to score goals now, I think. So I don't see this as being a particularly exciting game. I think it will be a draw. Ufa at home, though, they've shown even when they've lost games, when they've played decent sides, they've come out with decent performances. So I'm going to go for 1-1. I think they might get a goal out of it. But I just don't see any backbone to Spartak at the moment whatsoever. So 1-1, my prediction there. Okay, moving on to Akhmat Grozny at home to Krylia Sovietov. Last weekend, Akhmat, they lost to Rostov. They are one of only 2 sides to have not won a single game in the last 5 in the league. And if you think Ufa are going to struggle to score goals, what about Akhmat? They've only scored 6 goals in 9 games. It's seriously concerning. Considering they have plenty of striking options and decent attacking midfielders. So losing to Rostov 2-1 is not an embarrassing result in itself, but it is yet another game without a win. Krylia, but they're entertaining, let's say that. They lost away to Krasnodar 4-2 and they missed a penalty. Fair bit of mind games from Matvey Safonov to put off Alexander Sobolev, but Sobolev scored again. He's now back to being joint top goal scorer in the league. So I think again it's going to be a draw, and I'm going to go for 1-1 again. Krylia are an entertaining side, but they do let in goals, so I think Akhmat might sneak one here. So 1-1, my call there. Okay, then we have Zenit at home to Rubin Kazan. This one is a bit easier to call. Rubin are on a, quite frankly, dreadful run of form at the moment. Four games in the last 5 they've lost. They've only got, the most defeats in the last 5 games. They are really struggling now. All of that early season positivity about Roman Sharonov, I'd be honest, it's starting to look like a bit of a short-term solution to a much bigger problem. And again, it is scoring goals. How often do we say that about mid-table sides in Russia? Again, they've only scored 6 goals in 9 games. So Zenit, away to Zenit. Well, the last time they played Zenit in St. Petersburg, they did win. Yegor Sorokin scored twice. But this is Zenit. Zenit are looking far stronger if they drew away to Lyon. So if they can draw away to Lyon, I don't think they're going to have too much trouble beating Rubin Kazan here. And I think they'll get a few goals as well. So I'm going to go for 3-0 to Zenit. Moving on, we have Tambov at home to Rostov. Tambov are just ever so slightly showing some signs of life. I know it's going to sound odd given they've only got 2 points from the last 5 games. They're still bottom of the table. They've only scored 7 goals in 9 games. They are letting in quite a few as well. But they're putting up a bit of a fight. Last weekend, they were very, very close to getting a point against CSKA Moscow. 0-0 going into the last 10 minutes. And one strike from Christian Bustovic broke the deadlock. Minute after coming on, I think it was. So Tambov showing a bit of resilience there. Rostov, they keep on winning. They keep on getting points. They're level on points with Krasnodar and Zenit right at the top. Shomurodov didn't score this weekend, but They have scored the second most goals behind Krasnodar. They have conceded a lot as well, though. So they haven't kept many clean sheets this season. So what do we think will happen here? I think Rostov will just about edge it. And I think it's only going to be a 1-0. I don't see Tambov having enough firepower to really challenge Rostov. So I think it might actually be a rare clean sheet there. Orenburg next at home to Lokomotiv. Well, Orenburg suddenly 2 wins on the trot. They're edging closer to safety. They're out of the automatic relegation places. They're starting to score goals. They beat Rubin Kazan at home 2-1. Lokomotiv, well, what a win. What a win they had against Bayer Leverkusen away from home on Wednesday night in the Europa League. They are within touching distance, 3 points off the lead. They hadn't won in 2 games before that, so it was good for them to get back in the saddle, as it were. The defensive record is doing okay, only 8 goals conceded so far. I actually do think Orenburg will be okay this season. I wasn't sure they would be earlier on because they hadn't reinforced the squad, but they've slowly built it up. And they've kept Despotovic, which was a big, big move that. As good as a brand new signing, as the cliche goes. So I think Lokomotiv will win, and again, I'm not going for an exciting scoreline. Lokomotiv don't do that. I'm going to go for 1-0. But I think that will be a very, very valuable clean sheet. Now, what am I talking about? No, you know what? Actually, I'm going to take that back. Lokomotiv are on a high. I think they will be positive about this game. They have enough time, I think, to rest from Wednesday. I'm going to go for 2-1, actually. Orenburg are much more threatening than the league position suggests. Okay, Dynamo Moscow at home to Sochi. Dynamo, well, they really, really are struggling. They brought in all of these fancy names. They spent a lot of money. They brought in Maximilian Philipp, Clinton and G, Sylvester Igbun, as we mentioned, Sebastian Szymanski. I mean, for all of that money spent, and they have only managed 6 goals. Their defence is good. Only 6 goals conceded as well, but 2 wins all season for a club that has invested as heavily as they have is pretty appalling, I've got to be honest. 0-0 at the weekend at home to Ufa, like we mentioned, is a very uninspiring result, but they are now facing Sochi. Sochi, they managed a phenomenal 3-0 win away to Rubin Kazan 2 weeks ago. Only lost 1-0 to Lokomotiv last weekend. So they are the lowest scorers in the league, and they're for a reason. They managed to win Anton Zabolotny from Zenit St. Petersburg, but I'm a big fan of his, but he's not going to score them regularly. He might score 5 or 6 goals before the end of the season, but it's not going to break the bank. So Dynamo, I keep going for a Dynamo win, but I think surely they will do it against Sochi. So I'm going to go for a Dynamo win, but again, I'm not sure they have the ability to break out completely. They should be doing this by now, but they haven't got the form, so I'm going to go for 1-0. All right, moving on. We have Arsenal Tula at home to Ural Yekaterinburg. Well, Arsenal Tula played Zenit away, and predictably they lost. Although, again, a common theme for the mid-table sides this season, they're showing a lot more fight, making life difficult for the upper teams, higher up teams. So, yeah, okay, so they lost 3-1, but you can't really tell a great deal about their form from that. They have lost 3 of the last 4, so it's not overly promising. Ural last weekend was, okay, yes, Moscow are a mess at the moment, but that really is an aberration rather than a hint at their general form. They are scoring a lot of goals, though. They keep on scoring. Second top goal scorers alongside Rostov, 16 goals in 9 games. But they have conceded 19. I mean, the defence is a joke at the best of times, but this is just taking the mick. This. Away to Arsenal, I cannot see them keeping a clean sheet. But I think a 1-1 draw will suit both sides reasonably well. Ural will be happy, keep their heads above the water. Okay, so CSKA Moscow against Krasnodar, the big game of the weekend to finish off with. CSKA Moscow are in trouble, injury-wise, that is. They've got, my last count, 6 senior defenders out injured. Only Igor Diveev will actually be fit as a senior centre-back, and he's only 19 years old himself. So quite what they're going to do, I'm not entirely sure. Horda Magnusson is suspended. Victor Vasin has had surgery. Zvonimir Svalia is injured. Nababkin, he has played at centre-back before, he's injured. Georgi Shenikov is injured. It's going to be a bit of a lottery to see who they actually play there. I think Jakobiel will probably move back into defence. That's my guess. Arnold Sigurdsson is out as well. Ivan Ubliakov out. I mean, it's getting silly, really. The amount of injuries CSKA have. However, Krasnodar, they have, like CSKA, they'll both be playing Thursday night tonight. So both of them will have some fitness and injury concerns. Tony Vilhena is suspended for Krasnodar as well. So that's also a concern. I think in a game like this, it's just going to be too close to call. I don't see either of them pushing desperately hard. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw there. Okay, guys, that's all. Best of luck, and get your predictions in as usual on the Facebook page. Comment below this video. The leaderboard is up. You should see it on the Facebook page. But if not, I might comment it below on this video. But best of luck, guys, and I'll see you next week.